Hearing Charlie's unusual request, Waria smiled. "All right, since it's the first drink, I'll explain why." She cleared her throat, smiled sweetly, and said, "The first drink is to thank you, of course. You saved my grandpa today, and you did me a huge favor." Charlie nodded and smiled. "Okay, I can drink to that." After saying that, he raised his glass, clinked it against Waria's, and drank it all in one go. Waria boldly finished her glass too, then asked Charlie with a smile, "So, Mr. Charlie, what's the reason for the second glass?" "Okay," Charlie smiled and said, "this second glass is to fate. They say that in this big world, people only meet because of destiny. I think we were meant to meet, so this one is a toast to fate." "Okay," Waria said with a smile, "to fate." Right after the third glass, Waria's cheeks were flushed. She said, "This glass is to your incredible talent, Mr. Wade. After seeing your ability to heal people today, I'm more certain than ever that what happened in Oris Hill with the lightning, that wasn't an accident. Mr. Charlie, would you like to tell me about it?" Charlie smiled casually, his expression unreadable. Was it an accident? Only God knows for sure. As for regular people like us, all I can say is that some things are best left a mystery. Waria nodded and smiled, her gaze fixed on Charlie's captivating eyes. "Well, to not revealing secrets then," she said seriously. "Let's have a drink." "Deal." After a few glasses of wine, Waria's vision started to get a little blurry. Even though she could usually hold her liquor, drinking several glasses of red wine so quickly was starting to get to her. Now it was her turn to make a toast and give a reason for drinking. Waria looked at Charlie, her eyes wide and a little drunk, and said softly, "You know, Mr. Charlie, I've recently realized something about you. You're a pretty good guy." "A good guy?" Charlie chuckled, curious. "What do you mean by that?" "In a lot of ways," Waria said seriously, "you're more interesting than the people I usually hang out with. Most of them are always flattering me, fawning over me, or trying to get something from me. Let's just say not many of them have good intentions." "Oh?" Charlie asked, intrigued. "And you don't think I have any intentions toward you?" Waria nodded. "I think you seem a little above it all," Charlie asked curiously. "Above it all? What do you mean?" Waria said seriously, "Mr. Charlie, you might not look like much on the surface, but you're actually incredibly skilled. You're capable, but not arrogant. You stay in the background, but if someone pushes you too far, you don't hesitate to fight back. You're decisive, and you don't give your opponents any chance to recover. Those aren't qualities you find in ordinary people." Then Waria added, "But more importantly, I don't get it. Why would someone with your abilities want to be a house husband for the Wilson family? The Wilsons are just an ordinary, middle-of-the-road family. You're like a great god. Why would you stay with them?" Charlie didn't answer her question. Instead, he asked her, "So if I weren't with the Wilson family, where do you think I should be? Or where do you think I would fit in?" Waria said seriously, "I think you should marry into a top-tier family. For an expert like you, countless powerful families would be falling over themselves to have you marry their daughters." Charlie said with a smile, "What's the point of that? That kind of arrangement is just a business deal. There's no love involved. Would a girl from a powerful family really be willing to marry someone she doesn't like? Or would she just live her whole life under her family's thumb?" Waria replied as if it were obvious, "Of course. Any powerful family is especially strict with the girls. For example, you have to go to a top elite prep school, not really to learn, but to learn high society etiquette. And until a certain age, the family strictly forbids us from even talking to the opposite sex. We're never allowed to fall in love on our own." "Really?" Charlie asked, surprised. "This is the 21st century. How can your big families be more stuck in an old-world hierarchy than people were in ancient times?" "It's not old-fashioned," Waria said earnestly. "It's the law of survival for a powerful family." Law of survival? Charlie asked, curious. What do you mean? Waria said seriously. We have to cooperate, form alliances, and exchange resources with other families. That's why one of the most important mottos in the Smith family is that all direct family members must obey the family's decisions when it comes to marriage. We have to marry into other powerful families. Their family's influence could be greater than ours, but it couldn't be much less. Speaking of this, Waria sighed and continued. If the family decides another family is a valuable partner, they'll find a way to arrange a marriage. They'll have the men of our family marry their women, or have our women marry into their family. All family members have to put the family's interests first and can't disobey any arrangements, especially when it comes to marriage.
Charlie sighed and said,
It seems like these powerful families have their own problems. The richer they are, the more they just want more money. As he spoke, Charlie also sighed to himself. It seemed that if he ever went back to the Wade family, they would try to control him in the exact same way. They would probably look down on the Wilson family and force him to divorce Claire. Then they'd try to set him up with some wealthy daughter from another powerful family. It seemed that going back to the Wade family was really not an option. Lost in thought, Charlie asked, By the way, I imagine you're at the age where you're expected to marry, Miss Smith. I wonder, has your family arranged a match for you yet? Waria shook her head. It was in the works. First, they decided on my cousin Honor's marriage. His fiancée is the daughter of a family from up north that my grandfather picked out. When it was supposed to be my turn, my grandfather got seriously ill, so the whole thing was put on hold. But now that he's better, I guess he'll start planning my marriage soon. Charlie laughed when he heard that. It sounds like you don't want to be tied down by the Smith family, Miss Smith. Waria nodded. I really don't, but there's nothing I can do about it. Why not? Charlie said sincerely. After a near-death experience like that, I'd think your grandpa would see things differently. Plus, you're the one who found me and saved his life. If he's truly grateful, and you asked him for your freedom, or at least the right to choose who you marry, I bet he'd say yes. Waria smiled sadly and shook her head. That's impossible. Even if Grandpa loves me and wanted to agree, he wouldn't dare. Why not? Charlie asked, confused. Isn't your grandpa the head of the family? He controls everything in the Smith family, so what could he possibly be afraid of? Waria said seriously. The Smith family has grown over many years, with lots of different branches. All these branches are held together by rules so that everyone follows the family code. If one person breaks the rules, others will want to do the same. If your children marry for love, then the children from other branches will want to as well. If that happens, the Smith family's power would take a huge hit. If everyone just did what they wanted, the Smith family could fall apart within a few decades. She continued, The Smith family has been a powerful force since the ancient era. We've survived this long mainly because everyone follows the family motto and never steps out of line. Even though the family is divided into many branches, we all keep an eye on each other. No one is allowed to do anything that could harm the Smith family's interests. Charlie sighed and said seriously, I always thought you were a very strong woman, Miss Smith. I didn't realize you were trapped, that everything you do is decided by other people. Exactly, Waria sighed softly. There's no way to fight it. Shaking her head, Waria picked up her glass. Mr. Charlie, let's not talk about such sad things. Come on, drink. I'll toast you again. Charlie smiled slightly, raised his glass, and said, This glass is to freedom. Waria was taken aback for a moment. Freedom, she thought. What freedom do I have? Though she felt down, she forced a smile, nodded, and said, Come on then, to freedom. After another glass of wine, Waria was feeling the effects even more. She looked at Charlie and sighed. Sometimes I wish I'd been born into an ordinary family. Life might have been a little harder, but I wouldn't have all these restrictions. Besides a high social standing and more money than I could ever spend, my family hasn't given me any real happiness. Charlie smiled. A lot of ordinary people would be jealous of you, though. Of rich people who never have to worry about money. Isn't there a saying that it's better to cry in a luxury car than to laugh on a bicycle? To you, an ordinary family seems precious, but to ordinary people, that ordinary life is exactly what they're trying to escape. Everyone's working their butts off. Isn't it all just to make money? Waria looked at Charlie and said seriously, "But you're not trying to make money, Mr. Charlie. You don't seem to care about money at all. Like that pill earlier. It's worth $10 million, and you could make as many as you want. $10 million, and you didn't want it. You were just going to give it away. Isn't that proof that you think money is just dirt?" Charlie smiled non-committally. He thought to himself, "It's easy for me to see money as worthless because I'm not lacking it. You didn't know me when I was broke. Back then, Aunt Lena was seriously sick. To pay for her medical bills, I had to beg Mrs. Wilson for money at her own birthday party. I figured that since she was always talking about her religion, she'd believe that saving a life is the greatest act of faith you can perform, a deed more important than any grand donation, and that maybe, just maybe, she'd lend me the money."
Hey amazing viewers, it's Charlie here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 11% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 89% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.